So I almost didn't record this video because something just happened with my oldest that made me think maybe I hadn't gotten out of my overwhelmed state. Maybe I was still stuck. Maybe I was never going to get better. And I started self-sabotaging. But I know that you are clicking on this video because you feel like you're lazy. You feel like you have no business being a mom because you are overwhelmed. You're burned out. And I am coming out of a very burned out season. Whether you just brought home another kiddo, you are having a transition, maybe your husband's having a transition with work. That's my story. Maybe it's just the ages your kiddos are at. Maybe life is really busy. Maybe you are the sole parent right now. Yes, you guys co-parent, but maybe your spouse is having to work a lot more and it's just causing you to be on all the time. Maybe your kids are preferring you. Maybe you're the preferred parent and you're exhausted. I want you to know that I see you. I hear you. I feel you because I literally was just there 2 weeks ago. And I remember sitting on my living room floor right here, sitting there saying to myself, I don't know if this will ever get better. I don't know if I'm ever going to get on the other side of joy. I'm a parenting coach. I should know better. I should know how to get myself out of these moments of overwhelm and stress. What the heck am I doing wrong? And I realized that, I do believe so much in slow living and simple living and a slow life. But I think I wasn't taking that seriously. I think that I was overcomplicating it as well. And I was making it this romanticized fantasy that I was never going to achieve. I was actually just talking to my friend, and we were talking about how our lives are not what influencers show and how frustrating it can be. It feels like we're doing it all, and yet we're not doing anything. And so I decided, I'm just going to figure out what the things are that I need to do to get my body out of this state of overwhelm. Because I know that at my core, I'm not a lazy mom, and neither are you. I promise you're not a lazy parent. You are a good, loving parent. But when you're stressed, the worst parts of you are going to come out. Those patterns, those things that you were taught, that you grew up with, that you were raised with, they're going to come out of your mouth. They're going to come into your mind. And how do we stop those? So that's what this video is going to be about. So my first thing that I did was started focusing on those micro moments. If you've been around here for a while, you know I love micro moments. These are the moments when you grab your cup of coffee and you just look at the coffee and you say, this moment is for me. And yes, there's chaos going on all around, right? The kids are crazy. And you're just like, this moment here is for me. I get to be here in this moment and enjoy this cup of coffee. I'm looking at the way the creamer is swirled. I'm smelling it. I'm using all of my senses to the best of my ability to help me really anchor in to this moment. So the second thing that I learned, where did I learn this? Was it in a book? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was in a book. I think it might have been in Simplicity Parenting. I can't remember. If I remember when I'm editing this, I'll put it in here. But it's doing what's doable. Oh my gosh, this was eye-opening to me. It's not doing everything. It's not doing the list that you think should be done. It's do what is doable. And so if you're having a really overwhelmed moment and your kids already watched 5 shows today, but you need to cool yourself down, do what's doable. Put them on the show. Get yourself calmed down. If you feel like tonight your brain is frazzled and you're like, I need to order takeout again, do what's doable. If you feel like I could make breakfast this morning, but there's no way in heck I could make lunch. So it's going to be a drive-through run again today. Then it is. Do what's doable. And what's going to start happening is you're going to start making little building blocks. And before you know it, you're going to be back at making full lunches because it feels doable. But you've given that energy to just doing the things that are doable, and it gives your body that time to recover. It gives your body that time to really make sense of your state and really checking in with that, which means leads me to the next thing, which is to replenish that nervous system. Our nervous system is constantly giving out, especially if you have young kiddos like me. I have a 4 and a 2-year-old. My emotions are constantly all over the place. We just stopped breastfeeding my 2-year-old. So it's like, oh my gosh, like I am constantly regulating, co-regulating, and figuring out this whole thing with them. And I'm never giving back to myself. So how can you do that? First thing that I've learned is about anchoring your breath. I'm going to do a more in-depth video eventually, but this is where you're really anchoring in here and you're thinking about this anchor going in your mouth, down your throat, and all the way into your belly. And with each inhale, the anchor comes up. And then with the exhale, the anchor goes really deep in your belly. As deep as you can go, all the way into literally your womb, if you can get it that far. If you focus on this anchor, it can really help to calm your brain down and to help you to show up for your child in that moment, and give them the space and the energy that they're needing. This also helps me to get back to me. The other thing is physical touch on myself. And even better, if you can get physical touch from your spouse, having them rub your neck, especially the left side here. That vagus nerve is right over here. And oh, does it feel so good. So even if you just get a minute to yourself and you're like, oh, I've had a minute to just be here with myself. Just kind of coming in here like this and just rubbing any way that feels good. If before bed, you can just press on your chest and just remind yourself, like, I did the best I could today. Those little things are going to start filling up your empty gas tank and helping you to stop feeling so incredibly burnt out. Okay, the next thing is your environment supporting your nervous system? And for me, most of the time it's yes, because I do live a very minimalistic life. But in a very busy season, what starts to happen is I just let all the toys come up. I stop rotating them. We allow all the crafts to come out versus putting them away sometimes, in between after we complete one. And so it's like, okay, let me literally get a refresh. So I will take an evening, even though I'm really tired, and I will try to get my living room in specific, my living room and kitchen, to a place that feels manageable. I usually only keep, like you can see right here, I only have a couple things. Hopefully you can see it all. The dog's sleeping. I only have a couple of things there. And so it's not a lot to clean up. It's blocks, Tony box, and then they have ice cream scoop thing right now. So it's not a lot of mental capacity for me. And when that gets overwhelming, I need to clean that up. So that would be like my first tip of advice. And when you're thinking about your environment, this could be even the amount of things that you are doing. It could be the activities. Maybe you need to do a lot less. So keep that in mind. And the last thing, which kind of goes to what I just said, is do less. This does not look like just sitting down reading a book, which is what I ideally would love to do. Doing less looks like I might not even be doing anything. I might just be sitting here watching my kids. Let that fill you up. Don't try to distract yourself, whether it's on the phone, making recipes, cleaning the dishes, cleaning the floors, doing all the things over and over and over and over again to distract yourself from the burnout that you're having. Your kids can fill you up if you allow them that space to do so. But if you are constantly in just this it's honestly this get away from me kind of feeling, like, just don't even touch me, don't even look at me. And you're distracting yourself and you find yourself being distracted. Just sit on the floor, sit in the chair. You don't have to play. You don't have to do anything. Just be there. And this can be really helpful in helping the whole family to reconnect again. I'm actually going to do this right after I get off of this. My daughter's in quiet time. She's supposed to be napping. That's why I was so frustrated earlier. I was supposed to have a whole hour to myself, and I was looking forward to creating this video and to doing all these things for myself, refueling myself. And then she walked out 30 seconds after I closed the door. And I was like, I need time. So anyway, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to, after this, I'm going to just sit on the floor and just watch the kids play. Just let them do them and let that refuel me. So I hope that this helped. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And if you have any things that you like to do to get yourself out of that burnout spiral, I encourage you to comment below, because it's going to help another mom out there. It's going to help them to have more ideas and different things that they can be doing to really support themselves. So anyway, alrighty guys, I hope that things get better. I'm thinking about you, and I just want you to know that I totally get where you are. I empathize with you. I have so much compassion for where you're at. So yeah, as always, happy parenting.